The first message came while he was at work. It was just a heart emoji sent to the wrong chat, and she deleted it too slowly. He saw the notification flash across her lock screen before it vanished, a name he didn't recognize paired with an intimacy that didn't belong to him. He didn't react right away. He chose silence instead, reading the situation the way he read business contracts, the way he read people. That night he asked casually how her day was, watching her face more than listening to her words. She talked easily, laughing about small frustrations at her job, never mentioning the digital slip-up that had just cracked their world open. Later, when she was asleep, he unlocked her phone. He used the same code he had memorized years ago, a birthday, a simple sequence he'd always known. The messages weren't even hidden that well, just buried under a layer of confidence and routine lies. He scrolled without anger at first, just a cold sense of absorption. Weeks of flirtation, secret plans, and complaints about him unfolded on the screen. She called the other man exciting. She said marriage had made her feel small and bored. He noticed how carefully she painted herself as the victim, how easily she rewrote their shared history to fit her new narrative. The other man promised escape, passion, a future that sounded borrowed and shallow. He put the phone down gently, as if handling it too roughly might make it explode. In the bathroom mirror, his reflection looked calm, but something colder had settled behind his eyes. The next morning, he kissed her goodbye, told her he loved her, and went to work just like any other day. She smiled back, completely unaware that the game had shifted. The rules were now his. Instead of confronting her, he started documenting everything. He saved messages, noted dates, screenshot promises. He hired a private investigator quietly, efficiently, without a trace of emotion. At home, he became more attentive, more supportive, the perfect husband she would later brag about to her lover. She mistook his silence for ignorance and grew bolder in her chats, her deceptions. She complained about how controlling he could be, while he was the one funding the lifestyle she so comfortably enjoyed. The investigator delivered the proof. It was a neat folder filled with photos, timelines, and hotel receipts, everything clean and undeniable. He thanked the man and filed the folder away as if it were a business asset, a key piece of leverage in a hostile takeover. His next meeting was with a lawyer. Not to send threats, but to plan. He learned what could be taken, what could be protected, and how the law rewards preparation. He was building a fortress while she was playing in a sandbox. Back at home, she mentioned a girl's trip. Her eyes were steady, her voice rehearsed. He agreed easily, even transferred extra money into her account so she could enjoy herself. She left smiling, texting the other man before her car even reached the end of their street. That weekend, while she was gone, he worked. He changed passwords, froze joint accounts, and moved assets, all legally and silently. He had his lawyer draft the divorce papers with surgical precision, leaving absolutely no room for negotiation. When she returned, she said the house felt different, emptier, colder, even though everything looked exactly the same. She asked what was wrong. He just asked her to sit down. He placed the folder on the coffee table and slid it toward her without raising his voice. Her face drained of all color as she flipped through the pages, through evidence she couldn't possibly deny. She tried crying first, then switched to anger, then fell back on excuses about loneliness and neglect. He listened patiently, letting her exhaust every lie she had practiced in her head and in her texts. When she finally ran out of words, he told her the marriage was over. She laughed nervously, assuming it was a threat, a momentary outburst of anger he'd get over. That's when he explained what she no longer owned, what she no longer controlled. Her bank accounts were empty. Her credit cards were declined. Her access to their shared world was revoked. She called him cruel, heartless, and begged him to reconsider. He just reminded her that cruelty was choosing betrayal while enjoying the benefits of loyalty. She threatened to go public, to ruin his reputation. He calmly mentioned the prenuptial agreement, the mountain of evidence, and the legal filings already submitted. In that moment, she realized he hadn't just been one step ahead. He had been on a completely different path the entire time. She packed her bags that night and moved in with the man she thought loved her, but within weeks, the fantasy crumbled. The exciting lover grew distant, overwhelmed by her financial needs and the baggage she carried. The thrill of secrecy faded when real life showed up at the door. She tried calling her husband again, leaving desperate messages that went unanswered. At her job, her professional image collapsed as rumors followed the facts she could no longer control. Friends chose sides quietly, with most stepping back when the full truth surfaced. The divorce finalized quickly, exactly as the lawyer predicted. She walked away with almost nothing, stunned by how thoroughly and completely she had lost. Months later, she saw him in public. He was confident, respected, and completely unbothered. She realized then that his revenge wasn't loud or violent. It was total, calculated, and irreversible. He never raised his voice, never begged, never chased. He simply removed her from the life she had taken for granted, like a surgeon removing a sickness. And in that profound silence, she finally understood the true cost of betrayal. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content.